Usually a different story. When I talk to you guys, we're usually talking about championships, going to national, stuff like that. In studio right now, representatives of UNCW swimming and diving team. We have Carly Tanner representing the women's team, Matt Bird representing the guys, and the head coach, Coach David Allen. Guys, thanks for being in the studio. You guys' world has changed on Wednesday, May 15th, when the IARC, what's the official name of that? Intercollegiate Athletic Committee.
Intercollegiate
Review Committee, as soon as they made their recommendations. Basically, the brass tacks of it, it's all about the athletic department budget being grossly over budget for the last couple years there at UNCW. Seahawk Club money cutting pretty much half. I think they're at 44% in the last couple years than where they're supposed to be. Also, a men's basketball team that has struggled to bring in any revenue to cover their expenses and to cover a lot of UNCW athletic expenses. To go along with that, some big-time salaries mixed into that portion of the equation. But it all came down to the IARC making a recommendation. It's not really all come down to them. They made recommendations to Chancellor Gary Miller of what should be done to kind of save this money that's being lost, something like $1.4 million a year. UNCW's over budget in their athletic department. And the recommendation was you cut men's cross-country, men's indoor track, softball, and men's and women's swimming and diving, and basically wash your hands of it. And that's the only cuts, the only recommendation. Not really any money relocated anywhere. Just let's get rid of those 5 sports, and then you can move forward. What were your guys' initial reactions when you heard that news, Carly?
Initially, I was in shock. I had just ended my most successful year here at UNCW. The guys had just won their 12th championship, and so we had heard rumors throughout the year that, the athletic department's in trouble. There might be some cuts, but we all kind of looked at each other like, we're one of the most successful programs, arguably almost the most successful program on campus. So we hoped that that was going to kind of, keep our necks off the line. And then to find out that our necks are on the line and we're on the top of the list to be chopped off, it's devastating. I mean, after so much success and after so much hard work that the coaches and the swimmers and the divers have put in, and to hear this, it's just kind of like, wow, what else can we do?
Matt, you're in a different situation. You're going to be a senior next year. What was it like for you to hear the news?
It was pretty shocking. I was one of the student representatives in the, I think in phase 2, they stated in the report that they met with student athlete representatives of all the teams, and I was one of the guys' representatives. So I had known that the committee was around doing things, but from what I had heard, it was they come here every once in a while, do their investigation or report, and that's all. And I never had heard of anything happening from it. So I just thought we're going to speak our minds, say like our experiences, share our stories and stuff. And I didn't think anything was going to come of it. But then last weekend or last Wednesday, when they came in and the report was issued, I read through it. It was really hard to see, especially going into senior year, because there's no other place I'd want to spend my senior year swimming for Coach Allen and graduating with a UNCW diploma.
Coach, what did you tell your men and women from the swimming and diving team when they heard the news? What was your kind of message moving forward, what they should be doing this summer and where their head should be?
Well, I'll tell you, Ben, I like, these two wonderful people that are here with me, was very disappointed in the outcome of this whole review. I was certainly disappointed for our current swimmers and divers. I was very much saddened for all of our alumni, and certainly on a personal level, I was sad for myself as well as our coaching staff, because we put a lot of time and effort into this program. My wife and I were away at the time that the review came out. We were up in the mountains, and we cut that short to come back here. And then I had a meeting on Friday with Jimmy Bass and Pat Howie to try to get my hands around this whole thing a little bit. Our athletes have really done a wonderful job on their own, really. They have decided to keep this thing going. When I say keeping it going, they're training. They're continuing to work out each and every day, and I applaud them through this, because I would like to think that we will still have a program next year that they're going to be able to come back to and help us compete for some conference titles. But in the event that it can't, they're putting themselves into a position where they can go on perhaps to another school and finish out their career. So right now, even though their hearts are not in it, they're still trying to move forward, keep their heads up, and keep fighting for not only our program, but also fighting for their future and keeping themselves in shape and trying to improve their own swimming and diving abilities.
When you look at the numbers and you see where kind of everyone's final budget of the year is, do you ask yourself, where are they spending this money?
Well, in our program, we have 70 athletes, and we're responsible for all aspects of our program. So, in all honesty, I just try to make sure that I do the best I can with the monies that I have, and I work very hard not to go over budget because I'm told that you can't go over budget. You have to stay within budget. So I work very hard with Dana Harris in the athletic department to make sure that we are staying within the budget confines that we have.
And it's going to get rid of 172 student athletes, taking away these 5 sports, you guys being more than 50% of those 117 student athletes. And it seems like that's really the big number, the big difference from the current athletic portfolio to the recommended athletic portfolio. Because you look at how the money is going to be spent next year without these teams, it's still the same across the board. No one's taking any other cut. And it's kind of just wipe your hands clean, cut these sports. How does that make you feel?
Well, I will say that, since around 2006, there have been some decisions made, within the university which have not been very good decisions within the athletic department. So some mistakes have been made. And at this point, and I guess the mistakes are finally catching up with us. And in an effort to correct these mistakes, we've got 5 teams that are going to suffer for this. So we're going to pay the consequence of the mistakes that have been made previously. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think it's fair because these student athletes and these teams right here did not really create these problems that have occurred. And it was just like our basketball team this year when they weren't allowed to go to the conference title. Was that fair? No, it really wasn't, because those athletes that are on the team right now were not the ones who did not do the job in the classrooms 3, 4, and 5 years ago. So they were, I think, wrongly punished for what happened in the past. The same type of situation is occurring now with us as a team. And the sad thing is we're never going to have that second chance. We're never going to have the opportunity to come back and compete and represent our university. And that's a really sad thing, I think. That's something that the university, I hope, will think very hard and very seriously about, because once you lose something, you never give it back. And certainly with the student athletes that we have here in this program, they contribute a great deal, not only to the university, but also to the community in outreach to the community. I know in our program we have a summer swim school that we reach out to about 1,500 students every summer. This program is going to go away. The lifeguards at the beach, many of them are from the swimming and diving program. The summer league swim teams, some of our swimmers are coaching and are assisting in that. That is going to go away. So there's things out there in the community. This is going to have an effect all the way around, not just here within the university itself, but outside the university as well.
Looking at the numbers, looking at the criteria that the IARC kind of had to look at each team and kind of grade them on point by point, you guys score high, in my mind, in every single category except the revenue generating. And you guys know you're not a revenue generating sport. So the question is, how does swimming and diving make money in the future or sustain themselves financially in the future at UNCW? Is it donations? Is it fundraising? Or is it real allocation of the money in the budget altogether?
No, I think our swimming and diving program should certainly do its share, and we have raised money over the years, and for a number of years we were asked to contribute $25,000 a year to the scholarship budget. We always met that obligation, and we did that. This past year we didn't have to do that because sport-specific donations were done away with, so we were not asked to contribute that money, so we did not. But we can certainly go back and do things like that as long as it's set up that way within the athletic department. We just simply follow the rules that are set up by the athletic department as we move forward. So if they want us to do something more along those lines, we'll be happy to do our part. At this point, we want what is best for not only the swimming and diving program and all the other sports program at the university, but we also want what is best for the university and the athletic department.
And we've kind of started talking about that within the team about fundraising opportunities and stuff like that. I mean, we have a list of local businesses that are ready to go to help us fundraise, and we just need, the green light to go for it. I mean, we have no problem doing fundraising as student athletes, and the thing is, we've never been asked to do that before from the athletic department. We have no problem doing that. So, our kind of argument is, like if we need to raise our own money, let us raise our own money. Don't just cut our program.
From my perspective and from my knowledge, I don't think you guys are flying first class anywhere.
No.
Tell me about kind of maybe some road trips that you may have kind of taken the lesser financial aid way to get there than some other teams in the athletic department.
Well, for every travel meet, we take big charter buses, right?
Yeah.
We take big charter buses. We pile all, X number of people on a bus together, and no one has the seat to themselves. Everyone's sharing a seat, and no one complains about it. It's just understood. And, for our conference championship meet, we are traveling 6-7 hours at a time, and yet our men are still able to pull out championship after championship. So we have no problem with, riding on a bus. We just want to be able to go to conference and win again. So
tell me about some of the stuff that's been started in the community, some groups that have been started, even social media stuff that's been started since the decision on Wednesday, or I guess the recommendation on Wednesday.
Well, since Wednesday, we immediately got on Twitter and created a hashtag Fight for the number 4 UNCW Swim and Dive. And people are tweeting links to the petition. We have a petition going that within 48 hours had 8,000 signatures. Now we are looking at 12,000, I think, plus. This morning it hit 12 grand. And then we also have a website.
We have a website that one of our alumni launched over the weekend called SaveUNCWSwimmingDiving.org. It has links to a donation site where the donations go to a PayPal account that will fund our campaign and any expenses while we're right now just raising awareness and spreading the word about what's happening. Also on that the website, we have links to stories and letters that former alumni, parents, students have written just to say how important this program has been to their growth and their lives. A lot of the alumni have been posting. We also have a Facebook group, by the way, Save UNCW Swimming and Diving. We have over 12,000 members on that. People have been posting stories of what they're doing now and how swimming and swimming for Coach Allen has affected them and helped them reach the success they have in life. And it's really special to see all the alumni and the parents and the students get together and just support a cause. And it's been remarkable how fast people have reacted to this.
It's pretty remarkable just seeing everyone rally behind you guys, and even you guys continuing with your training. I think is just a credit to what you've built as a program, Coach Allen, and everything that UNCW Swimming and Diving stands for, and it really has been a staple in this community for quite some time. What would it mean, Coach, if this was no longer a part of UNCW's repertoire?
That would be a tremendous loss, loss to me personally. This whole program has been my family. I was given the task of starting this program by Coach Bill Brooks back in 1977, and I cannot recall one day that I haven't enjoyed every minute that I put into trying to build this program and really trying to make the university proud of what we have been able to accomplish. And to have it end like this, to me, is a reflection that the university is perhaps not proud of what we have done and what we've accomplished. And it would be a very, very sad day. And what would really be sad is the fact that I would know that there would be no more opportunities for any other students who are now in grade school or high school to come through this program and have the same experiences as all of the other folks who have. And that's probably one of the saddest things, because you eliminate something like this, you take away opportunities. And UNC Wilmington is a wonderful place, and I just don't think we want to take anything away from it that can contribute to how wonderful it really is.
Head men's and women's swimming and diving coach, Coach Dave Allen, Carly Tanner, Matt Bird. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you so much.
Ben.